We're back on Rancho again today, much like what we did with the Great One grind and many other hunts over the course of the years in Call of the Wild. When we're looking for some kind of trophy animal, I never like to spend a ton of time, day after day going after it, but it's kind of one of those things where if we keep on coming back, eventually we're bound to get the thing that we are looking for, and in this case, what we're after is a rare gold rooster. We've had all of the different varieties of rare hen pheasants, but never a rare rooster, and it's something I really want. It would look incredible in any multi-mount, or even by itself in the trophy lodge, and just hopefully it's something we can find, even with the 200 whitetail in the Hunter Classic. It took a very long time, but eventually, by just sheer willpower, essentially going back time after time after time, we did just recently get it. So if we keep on coming out here, we're bound to eventually find one. Now, there were 2 roosters in that group, a 15 scoring silver there, and is that the one that we already hit? Either we didn't hit the one that I thought we did, or there were 3. That's a pretty nice one, so we'll take that as well, and then we'll go and see whatever else we actually shot, because I saw the little, kind of puff of feathers as if we hit one. 18.6 is not bad. Maybe Sir 12 can help us out, because there are 3 bits of hunting pressure, and that guy was only hit once. In fact, there were 2 max weight estimate pheasants in the same area. I don't think either even had a shot. Based on the score estimates, this guy's 18.4. Maybe a good server for pheasants. We are, of course, in multiplayer, which I'm sure is evident from the chat in the bottom left. And I'd like to try not to only hunt pheasants, but still be in areas where we may encounter them. And I think with the redistribution that happened on Rancho, they do seem to be in more areas, so maybe that even helps us out. Now, you may have noticed we had the 12 gauge Gamekeeper as our weapon for the pheasants there. I wanted to continue to switch it up, and actually we have the Mosin again for bobcats and some of the bigger game. Our melanistic mythical bobcat that we shot, we had the Mosin for that hunt, and it just does so well on class 3 animals. I had to bring it again, and I just thought it might be fun to shoot some whitetail and mule deer with eventually. I feel like we may have done that sometime recently, maybe even last time that we were on Rancho, but it's just such a good class 3 weapon. I wanted to bring it out once again, and then just to round out our loadout, we have the 22H, something we've been carrying a lot. I do want to get some kind of maybe more significant diamond. I feel like the diamond that we have was like a rabbit or a bird species, maybe a turkey. In fact, I know the first one was a turkey on Mississippi with this weapon, so like a diamond coyote would be pretty cool eventually, and I just want to have it in case we run across one. For more than just the reason of getting to fire the 22H early on in the hunt, I think we'll go ahead and take this rabbit. I believe there are multiple in this area. And again, I think a lot of you guys are probably well aware of the antelope jackrabbit difficulties we had just in trying to get a diamond after this map came out. I still do want to get a rare male for that, although at least with the 2 diamonds that we have from multiplayer, we do have a multi-mount, and it's a pretty cool multi-mount. I'm glad that one exists and is one that we were able to put together. Now, we missed gold on this guy by 0.1. Not a rare, obviously, but that is something else that we are going to be on the lookout for. I mean, if that guy is just gonna sit there, it makes it a little more interesting if he actually takes off. We'll take him, and this is the thing. That's why I wanted to shoot that one to begin with and then hang around. When they flee, and this is all rabbit species, not just antelope jackrabbits, they kind of end up sitting still. And if they're in the brush, obviously they're that small you can miss them, so it can be quite good to actually just shoot one and kind of spook them out of there. So finally, after spending quite a lot of time out here in the desert, kind of passing time waiting for mule deer drink time, we do have a decent peccary out here. The problem is, or was, he was kind of facing the wrong way, but he actually just kind of moved for us. Before anything else, we're just going to go ahead and get that shot in there at range with the Mosin, and that'll be enough to bring that guy down. That was rather good timing on his part to go and stay on broadside. Pretty decent estimate as well, up to 157, so we'll see what that ends up being. I didn't even realize as well, it's the brown fur type, which is one that I want a diamond of, but at level 4 the odds were not all that great. 133 though. I mean, pretty decent size, right long at 237 meters. In fact, almost a hard shot, but also almost too low to even get a lung. So we're lucky that we were able to bring that guy down quickly. And actually that works out pretty good. We are well into mule deer drink time now, so we'll probably go and start to look for them for a little while. Well, that is interesting to see that many mule deer packed into one zone. We're down here kind of in the southeast, and up here in the far northeast, you used to get a bit of that, but I don't think ever there were this many mule deer in one spot. Now, I don't think any of them are very big, so I guess we'll just try to get maybe this guy on the outside. Heart shot with the Mosin will work. I just want to confirm some of those ones in the back. I mean, that's a decent buck, but for that many, and most of them do seem to be bucks. I don't even know that there was a 4 in there. Pretty solid numbers, just not quite the quality we would have hoped for. But I mean, we can see them running off here. That is definitely a spot I want to go and check, not only in single player, but on future multiplayer maps as well. As for the one that we got, just a 204 silver, but that's good information at the very least. I guess the positive side of this hunt is we are finding a lot of places that are just loaded with mule deer bucks. Yet another lake with just a ton of them around. That is probably going to be a shot that requires some tracking, although going down quicker than I would have guessed with a shot from the Mosin. But down here as well, right at the end of this lake, kind of in the center of the map, there's just a bunch of them running around. I don't know if it was 2 separate herds, or that would be my guess because they're kind of split up. At least there was a decent one in this herd. But I've got to say, maybe we should start to take a different approach with our Rancho hunts. I think this is a Rancho hunt number 3 in a row, where we've had some nice animals, a couple of max weight estimate pheasants, max weight estimate mule deer, and yet no diamonds, no rares, or anything to speak of. And we're still gonna try a little bit longer. It's almost kind of into that evening time frame. We may even switch servers, in fact. We'll kind of see what happens here, but this just kind of seems to be the case. We start focusing on pheasants, then eventually get to this mule deer drink time, and it hasn't really worked out for us a number of times in a row. So maybe we'll try to take the opposite approach, or maybe focus on pheasants a little bit less. That tends to be something I try to do when looking for a particular trophy, is actually not hunt them, because so often you find the things you're looking for when you least expect it. Although in the case of the 200 whitetail that I referenced at the beginning, that one we actually were hunting whitetail, so I guess it can work either way. But definitely a little bit of deja vu here, getting a bunch of golds and no better. I mean, at least we are kind of staying in pheasant territory. Pretty decent turkey out there, and actually well within 22H range. One thing that I still do not have 100% figured out is exactly how the bullet drop works with it. If it's at like 220 or so, a lot of times I end up aiming too high, being used to the 22 LR, or maybe aiming too low, thinking that it's a little more flat shooting. But at least that guy has a chance of being diamond. There was that hen pheasant that called over there, but I had a mating call from one as well. I don't see anything at all. Usually, if it is a flock of pheasants, you kind of see them running across the ground as they go to hide under brush somewhere, so I don't know if there's anything to look at there. We'll go back in just a moment, but we can take a look at this turkey. I think the first one we shot this hunt, which is probably not super common. We usually end up shooting a couple on our Rancho hunts, but even another one up in that area. As for this guy, 4.5, almost made diamond. Right long shot even at 180, so that's not too bad. A little bit shy of that 4.6 mark though. Perhaps not the best time for pheasant hunting, still a little bit early, but kind of just the way things go sometimes in multiplayer. There were like 2 servers open, and this one happened to be right at 5 AM, so I thought we'd come out here. Right on gold for that guy, a gray 15.5, and I think we got the other rooster as well. Looks like that is the case, on a 17.8 for that one. Not too bad, 2 golds out of that little flock, and that unfortunately is going to be our last kill of the hunt. And, you know, it goes back to the theory that I mentioned at the beginning, basically keep returning to the map over and over in hopes of achieving that result. It may be tedious, much like the Great One grind or the 200 whitetail or many other things that we've gone after in these games have been, but one thing we're never going to do is accomplish those goals if we don't continue going out here and giving it a shot. And hopefully that Ray Rooster Pheasant is not too far down the road, but only time will tell. And like I said, we gotta keep on giving it a try until we eventually find it. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.